doing basic training. So, dodging machine gun fire, I would imagine twisting strings in my mind. And so, in other words, it's very visual. These are real strings, like violin strings. You can turn them around, twist them, make knots out of them, or whatever. And that's what I would in the military. After I got out of the military, I would write up the papers, okay, and I would create something called string field theory, the field theory of strings. Just like Maxwell's equations, there's the field theory of electricity and
Aren't you the
magnetism.
father of that whole branch of physics? Is that correct? If I remember
That's right.
correctly. Okay.
That's right.
Uh-huh. So Chuck, you see, he must have known something in the market. Did you hear what he said? He said, as I was dodging machine gun bullets.
Right.
See, so he's got some extra access to higher dimensions there.
Right.
Because the bullets were not hitting him.
You were phasing in and out of this dimension.
Exactly. So, Micho, you're at your desk, and now what? You sharpen your pencil.
Right. And I go through hundreds of pages of calculations. This is tensor calculus, supersymmetric tensor calculus. On my desk is a pile of paper. Each paper basically filled of chicken scratches because it takes a lot of brain power to be able to write down all the equations because these are resonances. Resonances of strings vibrating in 11-dimensional hyperspace. And so it takes a lot of paper to do that.
Dad, go on. I mean, can you just say that again? I want to get a T-shirt that says that.
No, wait. So now combine that with when Michio was in the army, he just slipped it out that he was dodging machine gun bullets.
Right.
So last I saw that was in The Matrix, where Morpheus is teaching Neo how to be badass, and Neo saying, "You mean one day I'm going to be able to dodge bullets?" And Morpheus says, "Neo, when that day arrives, you won't have to."
Henry.
Yes.
And then he's like, "What does that mean? You don't have to dodge them." And my boy just stopped the bullets in midair.
And that's what happened. Yes.
There it is. I'm not even going to duck. I'm just going to stop. So I think Michio has those powers, and he just leaked it on this show just now.
Nice.
I just won't demonstrate it.
No
No free demonstration.
free demonstrations. That's right.
There you go.
All right. Keep
Excellent.
going, Chuck.
Okay, here we go. This is Chris Henderson. And Chris says,
You know where they're from? Don't they say where they're from? Skipping that.
No, they don't.
Okay.
If they say where they're from, I let you know.
I like knowing where they're from. Okay, go on.
Or sometimes they'll put it in the body of the
Yeah.
question. Hello, Dr. Tyson. Hello, Dr. Compton. This is, or is it theoretically possible to make communications that uses quantum entanglement?
Ooh.
If it is, would this give us the ability for instantaneous communication with distant spacecraft? So he's talking about subspace communications.
The subspace network, yeah. And Michio, adding to that, I read, because I only know from what I read, right, about quantum computing, that there isn't the circuitry of quantum computing exploiting quantum entanglement between adjacent particles in the circuit board. I heard something about that. So how does quantum entanglement fit into quantum computing?
Well, yeah, quantum entanglement is one way in which these qubits can communicate with each other. Now, you know that in a digital computer, the bits do not talk to each other. Zeros do not talk to one. One does not talk to zero. They are independent when you do a calculation. Not so the atom. If I have two atoms close together and I jiggle one atom, the other atom responds to it. This is called entanglement. And the question is, well, that's one reason why quantum computers are so powerful. All the different kinds of qubits talk to each other simultaneously. Then the other question is, do they talk to each other faster than the speed of light?
Let's take a break there and leave everyone dangling on a cliff edge about whether we are communicating on a circuit board faster than the speed of light. We're going to take our second of two breaks here at Star Talk, where it's Cosmic Queries with my good friend and colleague, Michio Kaku. We'll be right back. We're back, third and final segment, Cosmic Queries, Star Talk, with my friend and colleague, Michio Kaku. Michio, tell us about your social media footprint. How can we find you?
Go to mkaku.org, mkaku.org. I have about 5 million fans on Facebook and the internet. And so I'm definitely on the internet.
Okay, and you're totally on Twitter, right? You're active on Twitter. I follow you on Twitter. I know where you're coming and where you're going. So okay, that's what we can do. Chuck, you left us off with a question about quantum entanglement and whether we can use it as a byproduct of quantum computing for instantaneous communication. So Michio, what can you tell us there?
Well, it turns out that Einstein was wrong on this question. Einstein said that you cannot break the light barrier. It turns out that these qubits will actually communicate with each other instantly faster than the speed of light. Now, it turns out that even
Einstein
though
was such an
Einstein
idiot. He was such an idiot.
Well, I'll tell you, what a dumbass. That Einstein.
even though Einstein was wrong on that some things can go faster than the speed of light, he has the last laugh. Because it turns out that what goes faster than the speed of light is nonsense, random information. Morse code cannot be sent faster than the speed of light using the EPR effect, E for Einstein. And it turns out that we can test this in the laboratory. We can now prove that you cannot break the light barrier for usable information like Morse code.
So EPR, Einstein, Podolsky, Rosen.
That's right.
Effect. That was some experiment that they proposed to test something about quantum physics.
That's right. Let's say I have two electrons that are together. One spins up, one spins down.
See his thumbs there? He's got his thumb there.
So they are in opposite directions, okay? And then I separate them. I separate them by a light year, okay? If one of these is measured to spin up, then the question is, what is the other one spinning? The other one is spinning down, because the sum of the two has to be zero. It has to be either like this.
You have to cancel out. You have to cancel out.
Or like this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But before you open up one of these electrons, you don't know what the other one is. But as soon as you know that one is up, the other one is down.
other one's down.
Now, how fast did you know that? Instantly.
Right.
Instantly faster than the speed of light. On one side of the Milky Way galaxy, you know the electron is spinning up. Therefore, you know that on the other side of the Milky Way galaxy, faster than the speed of light, the other electron spins down. That is the EPR experiment. And Einstein thought, that proves that it's all nonsense. It proves that all quantum theory is wrong. Well, we do these experiments now. Einstein was wrong. Information travels faster than the speed of light, but it's not usable information. You can't send Morse code this way. Morse code cannot be sent this way. Let's say, for example, that you have one sock which is green and one sock which is red, okay? You put the red sock on and the other sock is green. Now, let's say you open the sock one day and it is red. What is the color of the other sock?
Well, it has to
Green.
be green. Right.
How fast did you know that? Instantly, faster than the speed of light.
Okay.
You knew that the
So that
other
sounds like you're
sock-
sending information faster than light. So,
yeah,
so
but you see, it's not usable information. You can't send Morse code this way.
So,
Morse code cannot be sent using socks.
why not?
I mean, think about it for a moment, because as soon as you know that one sock is red, the other sock is green, but where did the message go? There's no message there. You're not sending dash
So it's
dash.
empty-
so
it's
you're
empty
saying
information.
you're saying that the message is fixed, therefore it's not usable.
No, it's random. It's random and therefore not usable.
Okay, so but it's random even though you know the outcome?
Well, you don't know the outcome until you reveal that one is green, and the other sock is going to be red. But that knowledge, the knowledge of the fact that they are opposite sides, is instantly transmitted faster than the speed of light. But try sending Morse code that way.
Wait. So what you're saying is, then maybe you misspoke because you said you put on the green sock,
Right.
and then send out the
No.
red sock. No, but you don't know that you put on a green sock. You just know you put on a sock.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then
Yeah.
reveal that.
It's the reveal that
It-
we're really talking about.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
the reveal, that's
We're
right.
talking about the reveal. The position of the sock existed before the reveal, but we don't know what it is. But once we know what it is, then we know.
Then
the
everybody knows
Then
everything.
we know
By
the
George,
information.
he's got it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
There
Got
you
it.
go. There it
A
is.
physicist in the making, right here.
We're gonna give him an honorary Star Talk degree at
Yeah.
the end of this.
Okay. All right. Wow.
All right. So it's not useful. All right.
it's not useful. God,
Okay.
that's so disappointing.
Now,
I
the
know.
way to go faster than the speed of light, consistent with Einstein's theory, is wormholes. Wormholes will take you faster than the speed of light, and it is consistent with the known laws of relativity. Stephen Hawking even wrote papers on it. Now, to create a usable wormhole is quite difficult. You'd have to have negative matter and positive matter. But in principle, if you could have negative matter and positive matter, you could go faster than the speed of light in a wormhole. And Stephen Hawking even wrote papers.
Wait, Chuck, he just said when pigs fly. Just translate. All we need is negative matter. Yeah, okay. Well, all right. So, Micho, when pigs fly, continue. Yes.
Now, negative matter is very rare. Instead of falling down, negative matter falls up. Now, when was the last time you saw a rock fall up? Okay?
When's the last time you saw a pig fly? Okay.
But if you could create negative
If you
matter,
could.
you could go faster than the speed of light through a wormhole.
All right.
Gotcha. Okay.
And just to be clear, you're still not moving through space faster than light. You're kind of cheating in an authentic way by curving space. And the wormhole then cuts through a passageway. And so you're effectively going faster than light, but you're not actually moving through the fabric of space-time faster than light. That's a fair way to say it, right?
Yeah, that's right. You simply hop across.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a hop.
So
You're
you're
hopping.
There's a hole there, you just hop across. How fast did you go? Zero velocity.
Right,
You just
right.
hopped across.
Right. Okay.
There you go.
And Rick and
Wow.
Morty knew all about this.
Exactly. That's portal guns. That's all we need. All we need are portal guns. All right.
Maybe Violetta will invent one of those, a portal gun.
Probably.
If we're good friends with her, I think she'll tell us about it first, and then we can take over the world from there. Right.
I love every second of that.
Yeah, Violetta will be the world's overlord. All
Okay,
right.
this is Zygmunt Vasik, I believe that's it. Zygmunt Vasik. He says, in singularity, I have been told that mass could have infinite density. Can the algorithm of a quantum computer resolve mathematically
Ooh,
infinity?
I like that.
Wow.
I like that. So, Micho, it seems to me that if you take general relativity to its limits, at some point you're dividing by zero, or it's equivalent, right? So, is there some point where you say, general relativity stops, now we need some different kind of math or more powerful physics?
That's right. The distance at which Einstein's theory of gravity breaks down and the quantum theory takes over is the Planck length. Planck length is 10 to the minus 33 centimeters.
Okay.
That's
All
a
right.
very small number.
Yep.
And how would you then manipulate something like this? If you have empty space and you could heat it up empty space to the Planck temperature, then bubbles will begin to form, just like you boil water. You heat water, water boils. You heat space, space will boil at the Planck length or the Planck temperature. And at that point, each bubble is a wormhole, and each bubble, in principle, can become a universe. In fact, that's probably where our universe came from. Our universe probably came from a bubble in nothing that expanded, giving you the Big Bang of today.
Okay, Micho, you keep talking like that. Chuck is going to run out and smoke a joint. Okay.
I'm smoking one. Are you kidding me? I ate an edible while y'all were talking.
It's just.
I couldn't wait to smoke. I was like, forget it.
You want to boil the universe, Micho?
That's
That's
amazing.
This
That's
sounds
right.
like out of control.
We've
This
done
is-
the calculation. People who do what is called inflation theory have calculated what it would be like to be a god, to create your own universe. Of course, you want to do it safely. You don't want to blow yourself up in the
Yeah,
process.
of course. Yeah.
But basically, you boil space to the point where space becomes unstable. You have quantum transition, what are called Feynman diagrams, that allow for universes to pop out of nothing. Usually, these things pop in and out of nothing all the time. Stephen Hawking called this space-time foam because it looks foamy with bubbles percolating all the time, each bubble being a wormhole. But one of those wormholes just kept on going, and here we are. That's how the universe started, we think, as a fluctuation of the Planck energy or the Planck length. Its energy is 10 to the 19 billion electron volts. at a distance of 10 to the minus 33 centimeters. But that's my world. I live in the Planck length and the Planck energy. String theory lives there.
Michio, that ain't right. To call us a fluctuation.
That's right. We are a
Yeah.
fluctuation
Yeah.
in
The
space.
cherished universe is a fluctuation.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. You
An
guys are
ego,
you're a blip. That's what you are.
an
A
ego
fluctuating
busting.
blip.
A fluctuating blip. That's what you are.
Yeah.
Don't you feel good about yourself?
Yeah. No, that's what we call them. When you write papers on quantum fluctuations of nothing. Even
Wow.
nothing's unstable. Nothing would violate the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Pure nothing is not possible.
Right.
All right, let's get back. Time for a couple more questions on quantum computing.
This is Alan Rayer, and Alan says, "Hello, Dr. Kaku. I used to watch your YouTube channel, and I've been watching since 2012. I'm a huge fan. I live in Lithuania, and could you please explain on string theory what force makes a quantum string vibrate its string?"
And are there strings in the circuit boards of quantum computers? Or you're just going to say there's strings everywhere, there's strings all the way down, as they say. So how does everything you know about strings inform the people trying to perfect a quantum computer?
Okay, first of all, strings have to fluctuate because of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. Pure nothing, pure motionless, pure anything like that violates the uncertainty principle. Therefore, strings have to vibrate. The lowest string, the lowest vibration of the string gives us our universe. Our universe is the lowest vibrating octave of the string. There are higher octaves of the string, and these higher octaves we think correspond to dark matter. So that's why we have dark
Swiftness.
matter, because it's nothing but the next higher excitation of a vibrating string. But again, strings have to vibrate because of the Heisenberg uncertainty principle. This is a quantum
Uncertainty
theory,
principle.
and when the strings vibrate, they create subatomic particles, mainly us. We are the lowest vibration of the string. So
Neither
people
am I.
sometimes say, well, can the
Damn.
string predict our universe? Yes, our
Fluctu-
universe
we're
is the lowest
fluctuation.
We're
vibration.
fluctuating
A blip.
blips, and we're the lowest of the low.
fluctuation. That's right. And the next set of vibrations would be dark matter. And one day we're going to find dark matter, and that could clinch it. People want experimental proof of the correctness of string theory. That could prove it. If we find dark matter in a laboratory, analyze its properties, and show that it's predicted to be part of the next vibration, the next octave of the string.
Okay, so back to the question, the string in its natural state vibrates because it can't not vibrate.
Right.
Because
Because of the quantum mechanics.
the quantum mechanics. Got it. So
Well,
now, is this exploitable in a computer circuit, in quantum computing?
The computer circuit would have a low excitation of the string. I mean, a low excitation of the electron, but the electron itself is an excitation of the string.
Of the string. Got it. Okay. All right.
There you go.
So, Chuck, do we have one last quick question?
All right. How about this one? Here we go. Charles Mako or Mako. He says, "Hey, what comes after quantum computing?"
Ooh.
I think that the step beyond quantum computing is nuclear computing, because quantum computing computes on electron shells. We're talking about the electron shells that give us the Bohr atom, electrons going around the nucleus.
Right.
But the nucleus itself is nuclear, and it also is quantum mechanical. And that, in principle, is stable, so you can make things out of it. However, of course, if you don't watch
That's
out,
funny.
you could hit critical mass, in which case that would ruin your day.
It would destroy the universe.
Yes.
Okay, so it's interesting. What you're saying, Michio, is that all these rules that we're talking about are electron-based, and electron orbitals and all of this, electron spins, but you can go deep into the nucleus, and there's a whole other realm that is, in principle, in reach.
That's right. And the energy scale of that is millions of times the energy scale of the electron, and that's why we have nuclear weapons. The nuclear weapons, in fact, the sun itself is a simple example of what happens when you tap into the nuclear fire that drives the sun and lights up the universe.